we are T-minus 9 days until Thanksgiving, and it's a great time of great joy for me. Food, family, and the stretchy pants to go with it all. My first guest, Samantha Ferraro from the Little Ferraro Kitchen, is back to put a Mediterranean twist on our Thanksgiving meal. Yes. We're so happy to have you back.
Thank you for having me. It's my favorite time of year because it's all about food.
Yes.
And I love talking about food and eating it, so we're gonna have fun.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what fun are we gonna get into today? What are we making?
So I'm all about making something savory into as many things as I can.
Ooh.
And we are going to make a potato-leek tart.
Delicious.
Now, potato leeks are one of my favorite flavor combinations and ingredient combinations. It's classic, it's clean, it's flavorful. And we have to get started because we do have a few things to do.
Okay,
so
let's do it.
The base of our potato-leek tart starts with a bechamel.
And the leeks.
Yes, this is leeks, yes. And we already have some sauteing here, but if you do buy leeks at the store, that's what they look like.
Okay.
And then you want to chop them up nice and thin, clean them very well, saute them in some butter or olive oil,
Ooh.
and then you're good to go.
Okay.
So we're going to start our bechamel, which is a white sauce, and it starts with equal parts butter and flour. So I have 2 tablespoons of butter.
Yes.
Our pan is already nice and hot.
Which is what you want. You want it to be warm before you.
I don't want it this warm, but yes.
Okay, a little toasty. Okay.
Yeah, we started a little ahead of time, but you want it to melt your butter.
Okay.
And then once your butter is melted, you're gonna add equal parts of flour.
Nice.
And this is what's gonna make that nice thick white sauce.
Ooh.
And then we're just cooking this until the flour goes away.
Okay.
And now I like to give a little bit more flavor to my white sauce. So I'm gonna add a little paprika.
Ooh, okay, some
I'm gonna add a
spices.
little Dijon to go with the French theme of our potato-leek tart.
Okay.
Kind of like a vichy soie. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I
soup?
haven't.
It's basically like a cold potato-leek soup.
Delicious.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, once that's all melted,
This is smelling so good.
It smells nice. The
Yes.
paprika and the savory Dijon. So now we're gonna add some milk. This is about 1.5 cups of whole milk.
I was gonna ask what kind of, okay, whole milk.
I like whole milk. I mean, it is the holidays.
True. Why
I still
not?
have fun with it.
Why not indulge?
And then we're going to
Do you want me to whisk? Do you want me to do?
So while you do that, I'll show you
Okay.
another part of the recipe.
Yes.
So that takes a few minutes. It'll thicken up, and we already have some made,
Ooh,
which is
so
right
that's
here.
how
So that's
thick.
kind of what it will look like. And as it sits, it will thicken, but this is great to make ahead. So if
Yeah.
you want to make this tart ahead of time before Thanksgiving, make this bechamel ahead of time, and
Just
you're good to go.
refrigerate it for a couple days
Yep.
even? Would that be okay? Okay.
Absolutely, I think so.
Okay.
So now, on top of our potato-leek tart, we have very thin sliced potatoes.
Yes.
Now, I have something called a mandolin, and this is a mandolin. Don't be scared.
I know, I was gonna say, I'm always a little scared to use that because I'm worried that I'm gonna,
It's all about
slice.
safety. So mandolins
Okay.
usually come with a guard, and if you have like a big root vegetable, I just don't cut as close to the end. But if you're nervous, then you put your vegetable there, and you take your guard,
Oh.
and you just stay safe.
Nice.
Oop.
Okay. And
get
if
the
you
point.
didn't have a mandolin, what would you be using?
If you have a nice sharp knife,
Oh,
just
boom.
get it nice and thin and you're good to go. And also, I do this ahead of time as well, and I keep it in cold water, and it doesn't oxidize, it won't turn brown, it'll stay nice and
Okay.
crisp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pro tip again. You're giving us all the pro tips,
I love
Samantha. I
making
love
things
it.
ahead of time. So that is thickening up. I think it'll take a few minutes.
Okay.
How are we doing on time? Good?
Yeah, no, you got time, girlfriend. This is great.
Good.
Okay.
So we can start assembling if we
I
are
would
ready, because
love
that'll take a little
to.
bit. So now, so this will thicken up, like I said, it'll turn into this beautiful thick
You said
bechamel.
around 5 to 10 minutes?
It can take a good 5 minutes. Sometimes I cheat and like bring the heat up to make it go a little
Oh,
faster.
okay.
But you don't want your milk to burn, so you definitely want to keep an eye on it. I would say that's the
Definitely.
most time consuming of this whole recipe.
And this is a hack. So you buy your pie crust to save time sometimes?
Sometimes. So the recipe I have on my website has a homemade crust, which is
Ooh.
delicious.
I bet.
But it's Thanksgiving. We're making so many things from scratch. I think it's okay to buy a pre-made
Okay.
pie crust.
You
I don't
heard
feel
it here
guilty
first.
about
It's
it.
okay.
I don't feel guilty
We're not
about
gonna
it.
get shamed.
So I will ask you to
Yes.
take some of that bechamel, and we just want to spread it in like more towards the middle, but we
Okay.
want to leave a border, because what we're going to do is fold up the crust to make it like a very rustic.
Ooh, okay,
Tart.
rustic I
Yeah.
can do. Okay.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
So I would say about 2 tablespoons worth of
Okay.
that bechamel.
Perfect.
That looks gorgeous.
Gorge.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
Now we have our sauteed leek. So this is where the leek potato comes in.
Yes.
So this is about 1 whole leek, and it cooks down really nicely. And what I love so much about leeks is that they're really savory and they're very mild. They're not as sharp as like traditional onions.
Right.
So they have really
love
great
leeks.
flavor.
I'm all in on leeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
how
we'll
much?
do about half of that. Yeah, go
Like
for
that?
it.
Something
That's beautiful.
like that?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then spread that over the bechamel.
Okay.
Beautiful.
I love that I'm hearing beautiful from you, Samantha.
I mean,
I'm like,
looks
yay,
good.
this looks so
I
good.
think it looks fantastic.
Tasty. Okay, the potatoes now?
Yeah, so we have some pre-sliced potatoes like we just did.
You show me how you're...
So I just like to keep it rustic, and I like to put it in a little circle pattern.
Okay.
And I like them thin like this because this tart only cooks for about 25 to 30 minutes.
That's so quick.
So thin
Yum.
potatoes will cook in that amount of time.
Okay, and
then
I
we
guess
put
it
some
helps with the mandolin so everything is evenly, like it's all the same.
Exactly,
width,
exactly,
So it's all
yep.
cooking the same
Yep.
for the tart.
You can see that the bechamel is starting to thicken up
Ooh,
nicely.
yes.
And also
Okay,
a
look
little
at that,
salt.
beautiful.
That's gorgeous. So now we can fold the crust up. So you can do however you like it, but I just like to keep it rustic. And I just kind of pleat it around the potatoes.
Nice.
I'm going to turn this off. So this bechamel is really nice and thick.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Isn't that nice? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just love it.
I love it.
Okay.
All right, so now from here we have a little whisked egg and we have a pastry brush. So I like to brush the egg on the crust around.
Ooh.
And then, did I bring, oh, I do have some olive oil there.
So you put olive oil as well?
I will put the olive oil on the potatoes. So that crust gets nice and golden brown and the potatoes get nice and golden brown from the olive oil.
So amazing.
Yeah, beautiful. And this is great to make ahead as well. So you can freeze it unbaked.
Wow.
Or you can bake it off and then freeze it and then just like warm it through in the oven.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, and then the thyme, right?
Yeah, so we have some fresh thyme, and thyme and leeks potatoes are such a beautiful combination. And you can use rosemary. Rosemary would be really good too. Even sage, I think, would be really nice.
So perfect. And what else did you bring over here today? And while that is going in our magical oven, I'm going to taste test this final product. But what else did you bring over there?
So we're definitely doing a Mediterranean theme here. So this is one of my favorite vegetable side dishes.
Ooh, that looks beautiful.
Roasted carrots and pears, both in season right now. But I give it a little Mediterranean twist because I marinate it with some pomegranate molasses, which is very tart and slightly sweet, a little cinnamon, a little allspice, and then I just roast it in the oven until tender, and it's like sweet and tart and like a little savory. I put a little salt on top.
Look at the fall color
it's just,
too.
Yeah, it's just so delicious. And then this is one of my favorite squashes. This is called delicata squash, which I brought one here.
Ooh, yes.
And I love delicata because it roasts beautifully. You don't have to peel it. You can eat the whole thing. So what I did here was I roasted it with some olive oil and garlic, and then I make a panko Parmesan herb kind of topping.
That sounds so good.
So it's a little buttery, it's a little crispy, it's a little savory from that Parmesan cheese. And that one's also a favorite.
Samantha, this is the most flavorful
it's so
tart
simple, yeah.
I can't believe how simple it is. It is so delicious. This would be the perfect thing to impress everyone at Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for being here.
New Day Northwest Kitchen is brought to you by Safeway.